Yes. What is good, my people? Welcome back to Computer Music Academy's weekly homework podcast. I am your host, Tashira Say. Thank you for watching and thank you for listening. Welcome to week number 87 of the weekly homework assignment / podcast. And shout out to my man, DJ Lockeford, for the intro. Using that for a couple of more weeks, and man, I really enjoy that joint. Anyhow, what are we doing this particular week? Well, actually had something else planned last week and then got some news early Friday morning that made me change the assignment, and that's how we do it, you know. I give these assignments out according to real life, and what I'm speaking of is the Friday or the Thursday night before I gave this assignment, we lost another one of the greats. I do mean easily one of the greatest guitar players, innovators of a genre, performers, entertainers of all time. I'm talking of none other than the one and only, now the late, great Riley Blues Boy King, otherwise known as B.B. King. Easily one of the most recognizable, most popular, known faces of a particular music genre and just overall music. But we all know BB was big when it came to blues. I mean, he was an incredible guitar player. Dude's singing ability, his ability to tell stories, his performances were just all on point. And with him passing, as we normally do here at the at CMA and the WHA WHP, I said we have to show my man some love and give back all the with all the entire catalog that this dude has given us over the last close to a century. But man, had to give him some love. And we actually have 6 submissions this week, and it was going a couple of different ways. You could either, for our more musically inclined, you could create a true legitimate tribute to him, or you take a little bit of his music and create something new. Either way, I tell the people to make sure that you enjoy the catalog. Don't just go in and find something to sample. Listen and appreciate what these artists that have passed away, or some of them have not passed away, have given us. And that's what this week is all about. So we are kicking things off with a gentleman who's only been with us a couple of weeks, but he has been handling his business. My man, Lord Magnus. Let's see what he's doing. Yes. Lord Magnus kicking things off. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about right there. That was actually very, very dope. I felt the drums could have been just a little heavier, but I really appreciate the drum sounds that he chose. I like the panning and positioning of each one. I like how the drums sounded. I just wanted them just to be a tad bit heavier. But everything about the track, in my opinion, was really, really, really dope. I like the samples that he selected, the different parts that he actually chopped and flipped. But then there was a part, I think it was right around the 115 mark, where it actually appeared that he was playing a solo of his own. Now, you can hear right at the end that part of that he chopped was, a BB solo, a very vintage BB solo. But it sounded like Magnus actually played something either on his pads or on his keyboard, where he was trying to do something very similar to what BB would do with the guitar. And I thought that was very effective. Very, very dope, my man. So excellent job for that. Way to kick things off. All right, moving on to a gentleman we haven't heard from the entire season, but he's still with us and he has appeared for this year. My man, representing Tel Aviv, Eclectic Amoral. Let's see what you're doing.
Checking all y'all out this evening, and I see you sitting around. But we ain't gonna have none of that this evening, child. That's right. Don't be looking at me like that. See, my name is Grandma Funk, y'all. Funk if you're nasty, darling. And you got to be nasty. See, I need a little more volume, you know what I'm saying? Give me volume on everything, cause I want you to hear me, I want to hear myself, I want the world.
Yes. Eclectic Amoral making his 2015 debut. And it's as weird as that sounds, he is making his debut for the year, but he's with us. He's back with us, and I'm happy that's the case. So shout out for being with us and sticking to it, my man, jumping right back in here. So yeah, let's unpack the beat. The beat, I actually really, really like that beat. I liked it a lot. There's a couple of things I definitely want to suggest. Again, the drums need to hit just a little more. Now, the drums, I know in the beginning, that was a whole intro and build up kind of thing until the actual beat kicked in. Looks like around about 45, 47 seconds, somewhere in that area. And I know there was a whole purpose of everything being a little soft or suppressed, so to speak. And then actually when the beat kicked in, the beat it kicked in a little bit more to where you actually heard everything. But man, I really needed them drums just to kick. They don't need to slap and be the loudest thing in the track, but they definitely need to hit a little bit harder. You need to feel that kick and that snare. And if there's a hi-hat. Now, as I was saying, I know everything was filtered. As the track actually progressed, I heard some filtering on the drums. And there's nothing wrong with filtering, kicking in your snare and your hat to get a certain tone out of them. But what you can do is over filter, just as you can over compress or over distort, over EQ. And what happens is you actually take the characteristics out of those drums and they really don't deliver, they really don't serve their purpose. But that being said, aside from that, I really enjoy how the track played out. I like it was several samples in there from, I don't know if they were from different songs or different parts of a song, but I like the selection of those. I like how you played everything. I know how you do your thing with Machine. And, I know you're still learning, but this is definitely, this is definitely a starting point where from here, if you're going to continue to turn in homework every week and beyond doing homework, do the assignment, if you're going to continue doing beats on a regular basis and just growing, this is a perfect starting point. It's a very good one to where you can just keep going and evolve and do much better and do much better. And, of course, whatever I can do at CMA, I'm going to make it happen. But I really enjoyed the track. I really did. I liked the part. There was a breakdown, like a minute 15. That was really, really dope. But one thing that really impressed me that I haven't seen from Amoral just yet, that I finally saw, is that the track evolved. Pay attention to the entire track, and it's just about 2:30, but the track evolved, especially towards the end, like around the 2:05, 2:10 mark, where it actually got into, you bring more of the band in and you heard like some horns and whatnot at that last part. Very, very nice submission, my man. Very nice. Good to have you here, man. All right, moving on to my man down in South Carolina, DJ Lockeford. Let's see what he's doing. Lock Turtle, boy. Yes. What is good, my people? Yo, Lock has been on a tear this year, dude. Everything, and I've heard a nice amount of beats outside of what he turns in for the homework or what he uploads to his SoundCloud. I actually have about 15 beats aside from that, and heard some other stuff that this dude, everything he's done this year has just been solid, and he continues to progress and impress. Man, that track had a really nice, I want to say almost, my thing is early to mid 90s, kind of East Coast. It had that feel to it in the beginning, but then once the rest of the parts kicked in, where it had some keys and later it had some strings and some more guitars. Oh my God, that track is stupid. It got towards the end, as the strings kicked in and everything, for the hook, so to speak. It gave me that first time that I really, really, really heard The Thrill Is Gone. Now, for so many years coming up on TV, and a lot of people can relate to what I'm getting ready to say, when we were watching TV back in the day, and you always see those commercials that would do those collections or compilations, the best of blues, the best of jazz, or whatever, something like that. And I would always hear, they would always play just that one part of The Thrill Is Gone. The thrill is gone. They'd say BB King and then go on to Bobby Blue Bland or whoever. So, but I remember the first time I really heard The Thrill Is Gone, and I heard the entire song. And when I heard all the instruments in that song, I'm like, oh, this is crazy. That's what that track, it reminds me of so much, man. I mean, it's definitely a hip hop feel. It sampled BB King. It has even some of his vocal parts in there, which is very, very dope how he used that. But man, I think that's a very worthy tribute, my man. Very, very worthy. Lock, continue to do what you do, man. Please, I'm begging you. All right, we were moving on to Detroit, to my main man. We hadn't seen him in a couple weeks, Mr. Wallace. Let's get it in.
Double negative.
Yes, yes. Representing Detroit, representing Double Negative, also representing CMA, and the Pick and Roll Podcast, pickandrollpodcast.com, PAR podcast on Twitter. Mr. Wallace, my man, doing his thing, delivering as usual. Like, what do you say about that track? There's a couple of things. There's a couple of small things. I really did like the track. I mean, Wallace does his thing, and I like the intro. I like the selection of patterns, so to speak. I like how they were positioned, and there was a couple of drops and transitions, fill-ins, whatnot. Very, very dope. I loved everything about the track. As I always do, I love Wallace's selection of drums. That dude can pick some drum sounds, man, and then he EQs them and mixes them very, very well. They are very effective in all of his tracks. I haven't heard a track where his drums have been weak. I have yet to, and I really don't ever want to get there, truth be told. The one part where I was a little worried, because the first couple of parts, I should say the first half of the song was kind of the same two parts, one filtered, and then you actually heard it in full later on, and then you heard the other ones, kind of interchanged them, which was very cool. Around the 143 mark, somewhere in that area, where it actually had a nice little part where it kind of filtered or faded out. I forgot exactly what happened, but I was like, okay, cool. This is where he's about to kill it, because he has a tendency to do something like that. And then that last quarter of the song, or last third of the song, however you want to say it, comes back and it's just nasty. Everything is it's in full blast and it's killing it. And then it came back with kind of with the very first sequence, I think it was, maybe the second. And I was let down for a brief moment, because it played through and then it actually changed to a third pattern, or I should say another pattern, with like a guitar solo that he or loop or however that he used. So I was like, okay, cool. That feels a lot better than to just keep the same couple of patterns going back and forth. It definitely feels a lot better. It definitely is a Wallace track with that element to it, and bringing other elements in and out. Like he brought the break beat in and out, several times, and mixed it around. The Wallace does his thing. He knows exactly what he's doing, and he brings it every time he's in the podcast. But that one point, I was a little worried. So thank you. Thank you for not leaving me hanging, bro. All right, moving on. Back down south to one I am very, 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 very highly anticipating, because I know this man's musical ability, his love for music, and I know he has a huge and deep respect and appreciation for our man, Mr. King. So, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce my man, Gold 007. My. Yes, that was everything I hoped it would be. Oh my God, that was incredible. Thank you, Gold. Ooh, that is gold shining. No pun intended. Gleaming, if you will. Man. That track was nice. Very, very nice. I think it was very well done. Thoroughly well done. There's not anything I can pick out of that particular track that I can say was weak or didn't belong or it could have came up a little bit or you could have went this way. There's nothing about that because this is Gold in his true element. Gold, has come up doing, rock and I guess for the most part, different genres and subgenres of rock and stuff like that most of his life. And then he comes to CMA and he's been doing what we do, us who are from the inner city, so to speak, as far as making hip hop or electronic tracks, that kind of thing. And he's done an excellent job of it over the last couple of years. But I was hoping for something like this for Gold to show who he really is. And you listen to him playing that guitar. That's not a keyboard or a synth. That's not emulated in any way. That's Gold back there riffing, playing a proper dedication to B.B. King. That is exactly what I was hoping for from Gold, and he delivered. Everything about that track was really, really dope. I love the drums. I love the selection of drums. It was a really nice acoustic kit. Had a nice little, I want to say almost like a room reverb on it. A nice delay, short delay, pre-delay kind of thing. Positioned very well as far as the drums. They were positioned out, pan, just like a drum kit. And then bass, keys, had some synth and string elements in there, some keys. Just overall, very solid track, Gold. That's exactly what I wanted to hear from you, my man. And thank you for delivering. Oh, boy. All right. Moving on to the finale of this particular dedication or tribute to a gentleman that he continues to kill it. This is his first year. He's been in just about all of the assignments since we started, and he continues to impress and just bring it every single time. My man, your man, Sho-Nuff. Let's get it in.
He's gone away.
boy. Yes. Sho-Nuff. Showing up, showing out. Show's over. Dog. That was nuts. Speaking of, the thrill is going. That was a very nice tribute to the king himself and that particular song. Man, that was extra dope. That really, really was. I liked everything about it, man. There's nothing about it I do not like. Drum selection, nice. The instrumentation, and Sho has really been, he's really been showing, no pun intended, what he's capable of the entire time, this entire year that he's been, sending in submissions. Every week, he just continues to show you his musical ability. So he's definitely on another level. I put him up there with gold as far as being able to really do some great instrumentation. And same thing with Taurus Beats. Thank you. I would definitely put all three of them, I will group all of them, three of them together as far as their instrumentation skills, because what they put together sounds like music. Not to say that what everybody else is doing, myself included, but what they do can definitely, it would definitely transcend what we do over here and actually be accepted by the populace, so to speak. But man, the guitar, the bass, the strings, the synth work, there was actually some filtering and a little reverb and whatnot I heard going on in there, which was very dope. Show his once again, his versatility or his skill set. This dude, like I said, I think last week and the week before, he sang on just about every track except for the very first one, I think, of the year. And he just brings it. He has a really nice singing voice as well. And if he didn't know how to sing, I'd be like, you might want to stop, bro. But he doesn't try to, overtake the track. It's not about, okay, listen to me sing. It is about listen to this music. And that's what I really appreciate about Sho. He gets that. We make music here. And he doesn't overshadow the track, and he doesn't do anything in the track where something is outshining or it's louder than everything else in the mix or whatever. He is very level. Everything is the way it should be. Really enjoyed that track. And again, I really appreciate the fact that it was kind of an updated version or a tribute version of The Thrill Is Gone. Because when I heard the news that BB had passed, which was early Friday morning, right before we gave this out, and that was the thing I said is, the thrill is gone for real. Rest in peace, BB King. Thank you. And again, I will say thank you to Mr. King for the many, many years, even before I was born, but the many years of just continued entertainment and amusement and enjoyment with his great music and stories. And it's crazy. He's definitely leaving a ridiculous legacy on this earth, and we're very appreciative, sir. So shout out to my man Sho-Nuff, Gold 007, Mr. Wallace, DJ Lockeford, Eclectic Amoral, Lord Magnus, and thank you, the watcher, the listener, the people who comment on our videos, the people who share and like the videos. And if you're not subscribed to this channel already, please subscribe. Enjoy all of the content that we post here on the CMA channel on YouTube and at the CMA website, computermusicacademy.com. If you would like to be a part of what we do here, it's very simple. Come join us, computermusicacademy.com. Come be with us and make better music. I'm done for the week. You continue to enjoy your week, and I will talk to you next time. See ya.